I'm pleased today that we have an opportunity to discuss the vitally important issue of college affordability, and specifically the Perkins Loan Program and the valuable assistance it provides in helping low-income students pay for college. Especially now, with the economy reeling, it makes a world of difference to have a college education. Today's New York Times carries an article with stats confirming the economic value of a college education. Americans with a bachelor's degree earn on average almost 60% more than those with only a high school degree. The difference is even greater for those aged 25 to 34. Americans with a college degree also are far less likely to be unemployed. The 4.7% unemployment rate for college graduates in 2009 was less than half the 9.7% rate for high school graduates. In fact, over the last 20 years, all of the increase in U.S. employment has been among people with a college degree or at least some college education. By contrast, employment for those with only a high school degree has actually dropped a bit over that period of time. Today's hearing will help us understand the fundamental picture. The Perkins Loan Program improves access to college for hundreds of thousands of students, and it supports hundreds of thousands of jobs as well. That's why I'm determined to keep this program going, to keep it strong, helping students and supporting jobs, and why I think Congress needs to take action to make its leash permanent. The Perkins Loan Program is an important campus-based loan program that's been around since 1958, probably before Mr. Ryan here was born.
Way before.
I remember well the Sputnik scare and what drove us to adopt the National Defense Student Loan Program. Today, more than 1,700 colleges offer these low-interest Perkins loans to their neediest students, loans that often make the difference between those students being able to afford college or not. And Perkins loans aren't just vital to students. The program provides vital employment for thousands of folks across the country, both at colleges and at private loan servicing companies that some colleges use to administer their loans. These experts work with the students so they know all the details of their loan, and they help them ensure that upon graduation they know their options for repayment and loan forgiveness if they enter certain public service jobs. In Rock Hill, South Carolina, my home district, we have two companies who together employ several hundred people working on Perkins loans. We hear testimony today from Bob Perrin, the president of Williams & Fudge. In the audience, I see other South Carolinians, Neil Welborn, Hal Todd, Gina Santora of Todd, Bremer & Lawson, both local companies that provide the human touch that contributes to make this a really successful program. Although Congress has provided no capital contributions since 2004 and no funds for loan forgiveness since 2009, the participating colleges are still dispersing new Perkins loans from their revolving funds. The revolving funds contain prior federal contributions, the college's matching grants, and loan repayments from graduates. But starting in 2012, colleges will cease making new Perkins loans with the income from loan repayments and instead send the funds back to the federal government. Current law schedules all prior capital contributions to be recalled to the Treasury, spelling an end eventually to the Perkins Loan Program. Congress therefore needs to address this loan legislation, or it'll wither on the vine and disappear in 2012. Given this need for action, I'm interested in working with my colleagues, the administration, the higher education community, to find a cost-effective solution that keeps this program viable. Our colleague, Representative Tim Bishop, has joined me in introducing H.R. 5448, the Perkins Loan Extension Act. This bipartisan bill, co-sponsored also by the Ed and Labor Committee, Chairman George Miller, would extend the recall date by 1 year to provide the time to craft a comprehensive approach to keep Perkins loans going. In addition, later today I'll be sending a letter to the Secretary of Education urging the administration to work with us on legislation to extend this loan program. I think it's imperative that we ensure that students continue to have access to these low-cost loans and the jobs associated with them don't disappear when we can ill afford to lose them. I ask unanimous consent to include the letter to the Secretary in the record. Today we'll hear from three witnesses, each of whom can talk about Perkins loans from a different perspective. As I mentioned, Bob Perrin from Rock Hill is president of Williams & Fudge. He is also the president of the Coalition of Higher Education Assistance Organizations a group of 300 educational and commercial members that advocates for Perkins and other campus-based aid programs. We also have Sarah Bowder, Assistant Vice President for Enrollment Services and Financial Aid at the University of Maryland in College Park. And finally, we have Joseph Hill, a Georgetown University senior from Philadelphia, who will talk about the important role his Perkins loan played in his attendance upon graduation from college. Before moving on with my